What is up, people? Welcome to episode 18 of the Ready Game Fire podcast. As we approach the peak season for game releases this year, you're going to need some help to make it through to the other side. That's where we come in. We are the most qualified experts you're ever likely to hear on this podcast. That's right! It's the Ready Game Fire podcast, hailed as quite good by everybody who's heard it. I'm your host, Chris Fox, but my voice isn't the only one you'll hear on this episode. You'll also hear the voices of... He came to these shores, England, in 2008, and since then he's taken our jobs and all of our women. It's Kent Sobey.
Hello.
Hi. Where are you from originally?
South Africa, you just said it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, well I thought you did.
He is an intelligent man. Don't let that little outburst of stupidity fool you. And all the way from the breakfast show on BBC Radio 2, it's Chris Evans.
Hello.
I'm sorry, I've literally...
I've had 25 years of it. 15 years of it.
It's not a bad thing.
I'm Captain America now, though.
So as you can hear, it's a fresh team with me today. The new guys. The next generation. The young blood. Ken, how old are you?
28.
God damn it. It's time for second-hand news, where we read, digest, and regurgitate gaming news we've seen around or just heard. So, anyone got any news? Slow news week. Yeah. How about them game pads that we use? Yeah.
Yeah.
Christ. Oh, the games. So many new games. Old games.
Dark Souls came out.
Dark Souls has come out. That's news. It's come out because it's new, and you know.
Anyone played it?
No.
No.
No, but that's okay.
It's good though.
We've heard about it. We've all heard
and
about
hard.
it.
Hard. It's apparently quite hard.
Yeah, it's very hard.
It's a feature. It's on the box.
Yeah.
It just says hard.
This is hard.
Everyone in the room was at the Eurogamer Expo.
Yes, we were.
Yes.
What did you enjoy seeing there? Apart from, I know you guys were working at the show, but when you did get some of your very limited time off, what blew your mind, so to speak?
Well, I had a quick look at Modern Warfare 3, of course. That actually really impressed me.
Yeah,
In fact,
me too.
I think I played it with you.
We did, until we got kicked off.
Yeah, after a minute and a half, they said we weren't allowed to play.
What?
No.
Because break time was over.
Yeah, it's illegal to play before the show opens. It was stupid. But
It is illegal.
9:55, not allowed. 10 o'clock.
We're gonna
Fine.
We're going to come back to the Modern Warfare 3 Battlefield thing later on, but it seems Modern Warfare 3 is getting completely lost under the Battlefield hype right now, isn't it? No one's talking about Modern Warfare pretty much compared to Battlefield.
There's a strange determination just to knock it from its perch. I think it's the gamer's ways, build something up to the top and then just...
Yeah, they're so fickle.
I don't think Battlefield 3 will, given the beta.
Have you played the beta?
Yeah, I played the beta on the 360, and I was very, very unimpressed. Graphically, it's not... I know that it's supposed to be a PC game, and that's where it's supposed to look amazing. But, I mean, you're still using the same hardware as Modern Warfare 3, and Modern Warfare 3 looked much, much better.
Yeah, everyone's going around talking about how incredible Battlefield looks, but Modern Warfare 3 looked better.
Yeah, it looked
gorgeous.
It looked really nice. But I read something today essentially saying that what we've seen of Battlefield 3 is nothing like the finished product, and the actual final game feels different. The guns feel different. The recoil's different. The number of shots it takes to kill people's different. So
then why bother releasing a beta?
I think it's been a little bit of a disaster, to be honest, for them.
Rushed, isn't it? A lot of people are saying rushed because they said, "Oh, we can get it out before you guys." Yeah. All the kind of shit stirring seems to have been on the Battlefield side of things, hasn't it?
I do worry that they're spending too much time slagging off Modern Warfare and not enough time looking after their own.
What was your highlight? And you can't say Anarchy Reigns.
I liked Rayman Origins.
Yes, me too. Oh my god,
that is such a good-looking game.
I played New Super Mario Bros. Wii with Steve Edwards, Mike Power, and Annie O'Brien. We played it through as a foursome all the way through the end, and it was great. So Rayman Origins looks like it's going to be more of that, which I'm well up for. Because what's happened to local 4-player? You got people around your house. You break out these games, and it's like, oh, let's just play this locally. Oh, you can't. It's online only. I think it's a little bit of a dying art.
It is,
but the people obviously want it though.
I want it so bad.
That you're talking about it, and we agree.
And
there's definitely demand for it. I mean, recently there's been Mario Kart Wii, Rock Band.
Yeah. whole lot of Rock Band.
And I'm struggling beyond that, to be honest.
You can play 2 players in a couple games.
I know, but it's
Yeah.
just not.
useless. You 1-on-1.
And also, more games should have the whole local split screen co-op integrated with the online co-op, because a few games do that.
System link would be cool. Even.
What you mean, plugging 2 systems together?
Yeah. I mean, I got 2 Xboxes at home, and you got some mates over. You want to play Gears, you can plug it in, and you can have 4 players on the 2 machines.
Yeah,
which
it's
is cool.
not-
And you don't have to go online. You don't have to have Xbox Live accounts.
It's just not done anymore, is it? But to wind down after this podcast, we're going to play a bit of Rock Band, and Kent, you're a bit excited about that, aren't you?
I am.
Because you sing in a band.
I sang in a band. Well, I wailed.
Oh
in
my
a band.
god!
I was.
What's the story there?
Pretty
What
good.
did you
I was famous in my homeland.
record company pressure?
At least 17 people heard us.
You fell out of love with the whole music game.
17.
Yeah, at least.
There's only like
at
what,
least.
30 people in South Africa.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a pretty big
It's
number.
good going.
That's a large share of the market.
What's 55% of England? It's basically the same as that.
Okay.
That's big.
Wow, and you're going to bring some of that fire to our Rock Band session later on.
You can see, as long as we do some live lightning crashes, that was in fact one of the songs that we used to cover.
A placenta falls to the floor.
Woman used to cry. One of them was my mum, but
Okay, cool. Anyway, back to Rayman Origins for a bit. Yeah, I touched on this briefly from the quote-unquote live Eurogamer podcast, but yeah, it looks great. It looks like a living cartoon, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like watching a cartoon from sort of the mid-90s.
Yeah, it looks incredible, and ingenious little platforming mechanics,
Yeah, it's so good.
quirky characters. I know nothing about the Rayman universe.
I was about to say exactly the same. I've never cared for Rayman one bit, but I'm really excited for this.
Rayman came on the scene. I said, "Fuck off." Where are his arms? Where are his legs? He's got hands and feet.
he's got no arms and legs.
No, just
He's that little white dude.
if you want to attach a race to it, yeah,
Well,
I guess
not-
he's
not a
Caucasian.
race, just a colour.
Well, they're not mutually exclusive. Yes, he is a white Rayman.
I always thought of him as very aubergine-like.
Yeah, he's got a purple body and his head and his hands and his feet.
So he's not actually
Kind
white.
of, huh?
So he's not actually white.
His face is white.
Okay.
But he's not exactly human either.
Oh.
He's a sort of floating aubergine.
You can't
floating...
you can't blame Ken for doing what he's doing. It's from where he's from.
It's the age too.
So apart from his race, are you interested in a fun 4-player platforming co-op kind of game? Does it float your? Does it float
Forming's
your
not
boat?
really my thing,
Yeah.
as we've discussed several times.
Kent has got what we call on this podcast Mike Power syndrome, which is kind of they weren't aware of gaming until Halo 3 came out a couple of years ago, and they went, "Hey, check out this Space Marine action. I think I can get into this."
It's funny you mentioned Space Marines because we were talking about Space Quest earlier, and you'd never heard of
I
it.
have heard of Space Quest. I haven't played Space Quest.
I've actually played it.
Okay, well done.
I understand that. That was a choose-your-own-adventure book, right?
Is it?
No.
Can I drop in a plug for Special Effect, the awesome gaming charity who are also there?
Yes.
Who had a world record attempt for the most people playing eye-controlled games in one place.
Yeah.
They were the first people to try, so they obviously got the world record. but
One
even
of
so-
our own won the fastest time in the world, didn't he?
No, he did not, through a
did someone beat him?
technicality.
Oh, what was the
What
technicality?
happened? What happened?
The technicality was that you were only had one go each.
What? Who was playing? What was the game?
Our friend and colleague Jason Goonery.
Gunnery.
It's a racing game. You use your eyes to steer and
Very,
you
very
look up to
strange.
Use your
turn.
eyes to steer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look left and right to turn, and then you look up slightly. There's a center point on the screen that you stare at, and then if you want to go faster, you look just above the center point, and it obviously tracks where your eyes are going. To turn left, you look just left of the center point.
I missed all of this. The future is here.
They're incredible.
It's amazing stuff.
I knew Special Effect kind of enable disabled gamers in various different ways, but I didn't know it would be through mind control.
Well, got to do it somehow.
But,
Okay.
yeah, our friend and colleague Jason Goonery did set the fastest time of the weekend, but it was on his second attempt, and he wasn't aware that you're not allowed 2 attempts. So being the honest soul he is, he went back and owned up to what happened.
Good for him.
And because of the rules in place with Guinness World Records, they had to wipe his second time from the records.
I thought they would have disqualified him from all the performance-enhancing drugs that he takes, but second go, fine.
There is that.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, cool. Steve Jobs, R.I.P. Let's just take a moment of silence for Steve. No, that would be dead air. Are you guys?
If it wasn't in your house, I'd pour out some beer right now. But
I would appreciate. No, don't. It's beige carpet.
I was going to say down my throat.
Yeah, do some of that.
This one's for Steve.
So yeah, we're not really going to go into that any further, but he made some. He made some good computers.
It's getting a bit teary, so we best move on.
Yeah, welling up over here. Sony have got the rights to make a movie on his lifetime. Yeah, but obviously, if you want to watch a Steve Jobs movie, you watch Pirates of Silicon Valley. It's the definitive movie. It's
John
already out.
DiMaggio was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yes.
For those of you
Marcus
who
Phoenix.
don't know, it's Marcus Phoenix
and Bender.
Yeah.
He was in that movie. But also, don't watch that movie. He was a ginger. He doesn't have any hair.
But we don't hold that against him.
Isn't he? Well, he's probably got a beard.
Top of the hair, and he's got no hair.
No beard.
He ain't got no hair.
He had a beard though.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder what colour his pubes are.
Probably ginger. Actually, they're probably grey now.
He's not that old.
If you have any insight into the colour of John DiMaggio's pubes, please send an email to contact@readygamefire.co.uk. The correct answer will win a copy of Rift. That's not actually a joke. Please put as your subject line for that email, pubes. Mass Effect 3 has multiplayer, confirmed. I don't know about you guys, but every time I pick up Mass Effect, I think, please shoehorn multiplayer into this game.
I get a Mass Effect when I think about it.
That's brilliant.
See what you did there?
Are you guys interested in playing Mass Effect in any shape or form with another person?
If it's split screen, then yes. I'm a big fan of the split screen game.
Local.
It sounds like it's going to be split screeny.
Really?
They released a very vague explanation of it.
You play with your girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Well, then it makes sense.
We both played Mass Effect 2, both loved it.
Yeah.
Playing together can only be a good thing.
It can only be good.
Do you
as
both...
long as
please.
the story, as long as there's not a different story if you play on your own or with someone else, because that will piss me off.
From what I've read, it is a separate entity in its own, but what you do will affect what happens in your single player story.
You see, that bugs me, because what if you don't have someone to play with? You don't get the full experience. It's not fair.
Apparently, you do get the full experience. It's all
lies.
Yeah,
I think there's in Mass Effect 2 there was the whole loyalty system, and if everyone wasn't loyal enough when you entered the final mission, you'd fail miserably. Yeah. And there's a similar thing, but it's kind of galactic something that they've come up with. It's just a similar sort of system.
Something.
Galactic something.
Okay.
And by playing the multiplayer, you can build up your galactic something score through multiplayer if you want
to. 1,500 galactic something points.
Yeah. But if you don't, you can get your galactic something points elsewhere.
And as we all know, you can trade in your galactic somethings for space thingamaboos. Can you double team people in co-op then? And I'm talking sex-wise.
We can only hope.
Yeah, because that's, I don't know about you guys, I think Mass Effect, I think sexing aliens. So when I think Mass Effect co-op, I think Eiffel Towering some alien.
I have to bring something up there.
High five.
How does it work when Shepard...
Well, one of them goes in the hole on the back, and one of them... Huh?
Like the blue alien, the Asari or whatever her name is.
Sure.
Is her anatomy the same as a human's?
Well, I think... Yeah.
What do they do?
It's probably similar, isn't it?
Rub each other or...
Look, they're pretty much... They're like the aliens you see in Star Trek, i.e. let's just stick some cheap prosthetics on their head so we can do this cheaply. So they're very humanoid, aren't they?
What if...
There's just going to be some blue spines down there.
Well, I was going to say, what if the females on her planet, Asariland...
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I don't know, Asaritan.
That sounds like the theme park on their planet.
What if the females, they have penises?
But then they would be males. Just so the listeners can understand what I just had to see, Kent just put his fingers together like two Asari peni. They're not going to have peni because they're female, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're from a different planet. I mean, things work differently.
Well, write to BioWare and ask them. We don't have the answers. I mean, that's certainly not what I've pictured when I've been...
It's all I can picture when I play Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Penises.
Play... or as we like to call them, galactic somethings. Okay, so I'm not gonna... I mean, when I eventually do catch up to Mass Effect 3, I will. I'm not co-op, nah. Unless it's amazing, but it's not. It sounds like it's just been tacked on.
It's got a shoehorn written all over it, hasn't it?
The problem with BioWare, and don't get me wrong, their games are always great, but they always promise so much more than they deliver. Like Dragon Age 2, they promise so much more, and the end product was...
With Dragon Age 2, they tried to please everybody, which you can't do.
You can't, yeah.
And that's what happened there.
But that's what they're going to do with Mass Effect 3, because more people have... I'm really hoping they don't, because I've loved the first two, but they're going to try and please everybody, and we're going to end up with Dragon Age 2.
I think the main single-player campaign is going to remain unspoiled. You just have to ignore all the frilly shit around it. That they
I hope
like the co-op, like the Kinect controls, just
put Kinect controls in. Why?
Because everything is better with the Kinect sensor. Haven't you read the boxes? Better with the Kinect sensor. Not this is Kinect sensor compatible. Why not give it a try? It's like, no, this is better. You idiot consumer. You don't know what you want. Play things with Kinect.
They could make things better with it though. Like there was that whole demo of the Ghost Recon thing. I know you've seen it.
Yes.
Where you're customizing a gun. Using the Kinect, which looked quite cool. You can remove bits using your hand and add different bits. That's quite fun. But then when you get into the game, you got to fire by making a one-handed clap. It just doesn't work.
It reminded me of like a duck.
Yeah, exactly. So why not have the ability to use it in the menus, the Kinect in the menus, and then when you get into the game, you can pick up control.
Because
people are not stupid. They can use both.
Just don't put Kinect into proper games.
But you can, but that's what I'm saying. You can, just don't make it the focus of the game. It doesn't have to be a Kinect game. It can have Kinect abilities.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I mean, I just, if I'm playing a game like Mass Effect, though, there's no way on earth.
What about to chuck grenades? You're playing normally, and there's no button for grenades because they're all used up by other things, and you just throw your arm to throw a grenade, or look around corners. You're in cover, move your head.
When I'm playing Dance Central or Fruit Ninja, I'm up for Kinect. But when I'm playing something like Mass Effect, I don't want to integrate controller and Kinect. I don't want to do it. I think it's stupid.
Forza 4 is the prime example.
Yeah.
Just about to come out. You can have a Kinect in front of you. It tracks your head as you look into the apex of the corner. The camera moves slightly. If you see a car alongside you, you look to the side of the screen. The camera moves to the side.
Is that going to work? It
sounds
pretty
cool.
retarded.
Yeah,
that's
still
cool,
play the
though.
controller or steering wheel, but it's there
That's
if you want
awesome.
it. Yeah.
So if you turn your head to the right and look at the wall to your right...
Well, no, it's exaggerated movement.
And you can probably turn it off for all the old school hardcore I don't want to Kinect in my house people. I know you have one.
I have one. No, I'm just saying...
I know what you're saying.
Microsoft are putting all these pressures on these developers to say, look, you got to get some kind of Kinect into your game, and they're going, okay.
Yeah, and then they're coming up with shoddy ideas. But I think the technology is good enough to have good ideas in there.
Yeah.
Throwing grenades and looking around corners is a bad example, but someone cleverer than me, as we've already established, I'm not very smart. So someone cleverer than me could come up with something good to use it for. It's incredible technology.
Yeah, it is. I like using it for stuff like Dance Central 2 and Child of Eden. But when I'm sitting on my sofa and I'm immersed in a game, I don't want to have to go, oh, okay, well, I've got to use my sniper rifle for this mission, put the controller down, reach behind my head, pull out my imaginary gun, kind of wave my left hand in the air to zoom in, and sort of do a snaking motion upwards with my right hand to
Sure, but like I
fire.
said, let's think of clever ideas, not that one.
I'm just using an example, you son of a bitch.
It's the Legend of Zelda, and it's really rad. Those creatures from Ganon are pretty bad. Octoroks, Tektites, levers too. But with your help, our hero pulls through. Yeah, go Link, yeah, get Zelda. Awesome. Intense.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Your parents help you hook it up.
While we're on the subject of Kinect, Fruit Ninja Puss in Boots has been announced. Yeah.
Fruit Ninja Push...
Yeah. Exactly. That one.
It's a mouthful.
This was posted on the Ready Game Fire Facebook page, which I'm sure you will follow. We shared the story that Fruit Ninja Connect is getting its own iteration featuring Puss in Boots,
How's that
the
even going to work?
character from Shrek. Well, it's just going to be menus, isn't it? You're going to have Antonio Banderas going main mode, options mode, but it's just
Like Mario
looks
in
the same.
Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool because Antonio
Versus.
Banderas' voice is pretty sexy.
It's so bizarre. There's no link whatsoever.
No, I knew they
Like
would
you
come.
could get Angry Birds, Rio, game about birds, film about birds.
Yeah,
You
put
can
them
mesh them
together, yeah.
together.
Are you kidding? I saw Shrek and Fruit Ninja colliding from a mile away.
Game about fruit and
Yeah,
ninjas,
swords
film
and-
about a cat.
But he's not even a ninja. He's like a
Zorro guy.
he's like a Zorro guy.
Yeah.
Those were exactly the words I was going to use. Actually,
He's one of them Zorro guys.
he's one of them Zorro guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the preview video that I saw, there were some interesting modes that weren't in the main version. So, as a fan of Fruit Ninja Connect, I'd probably buy it, but I also hate Shrek. So, I don't know.
Is it essentially Fruit Ninja 2, but
It's just. I think it's just. Like,
DreamWorks have paid for most of the development costs?
What if they add new fruits? How does it get different? We want to have limes.
brand new fruits. That's
no,
right.
with papaya.
You hit it on the head. It's just like Angry Birds seasonal. It's that kind of thing. Like a teeny weeny. Hey, you haven't played this game for a couple of months.
But that makes more sense. Okay, even though it's seasonal, the stages are different.
Yeah.
Whereas Fruit Ninja is just fruits flying on the stage and you swinging your arms. It's fun, but you can't make it that.
They're just
different from-
introducing new modes. Like I saw a mode that I don't know the name of, but basically involved fruit and bombs rotating in a circle. So they're going to chuck a few new things in, but I mean,
Come with accessories like with a wheel that you get in. You turn with it. And
exactly. But I'm
Sounds expensive.
I'm not a Shrek fan, and the best of the Shrek movies, in my opinion, Shrek 1, doesn't have Puss in Boots as a character.
he's got his own movie.
Not a
coming.
coincidence.
Oh yeah, we just discussed that.
I'm sure he's got it. I'm sure he's got 7 of his own movies coming out.
I hope so. At least 4.
It's going to drain, squeeze every last drop of life out of that franchise.
Shrek 4 was good. Shrek 3 was no good.
Scared Shrekless, which has just come out, exclusive to Tesco stores, doesn't even feature the voice of Eddie Murphy as the donkey, so even he has gone, you know what, no.
Anybody can do that voice. Donkey.
What?
That's Shrek's voice.
No, Ken, that was your voice. Deeper. Donkey.
You didn't have a lisp and you did my accent. It was pretty good.
You can't... You have to remember, Kent. Over here, it is donkey. Over there, it's donkey.
Donkey.
So, we're moving on.
Swiftly.
We touched on this briefly already, but Modern Warfare 3, Battlefield 3, where do you guys stand? Which are you going to get? Are you going to get both? Are you going to get COD? Are you going to subscribe to COD Elite? So many questions.
I'll eventually get both.
Yeah.
I'm getting Battlefield first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Risky.
I am a massive Call of Duty fan. Always have been. Well, not always. Since it first started coming out.
Since you first started coming out.
Since
I've got to
first
balance
started
this
coming
out with
out,
something manly.
Did you like Big Red 1?
That was the PS2 one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Call of Duty 2. Big Red one was.
The name made me
I
laugh.
think so.
It's a funny name.
Hey! I was in the middle of explaining my love for Call of
Sorry.
Duty. This is
Please go on.
Uninterruptible stuff.
Please go on.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
Okay.
I love it. So I'm going to get it on release day.
What about this COD Elite subscription?
That's a bit of a rip-off because you're getting all the stats that you get in-game anyway.
Yeah, but it's integrating all of the
right.
Call of Duties together, huh?
I would like it. I'll be honest. The only reason I see to not get it is that my stats from the previous COD games sucked.
Yeah.
I'm really good now. And I sucked before.
But we just have your word for that. We've got stats to back up the counter argument.
I'll show you my Black Ops stats. They're pretty good.
Sounds
Okay.
like a fun
Like
night
a
in.
prodigy. Except
Everything you say is so laced with innuendo. Big Red 1.
He said Big Red one.
Yeah, but you also said it. And you look like one. You're wearing a red shirt and you're quite big. You are the Big Red 1. Also, you said, I'll show you my Black Ops. It sounds like a euphemism for your balls.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him. Well, I mean, okay, here's where I stand on it. I'm going to do my I'm going to do my yearly ritual of popping down to a supermarket and buying a bunch of bananas to get the latest Call of Duty at £23. And Steve Edwards will be getting Battlefield on his new top-notch PC. So Mike Power.
He never mentioned that, did he?
I know. That's why I'm telling you guys now. It's news.
Thanks
He's
for that,
got a new PC, and Mike Power and I will be there, and we'll be recording our reactions to the astonishing PC graphics. So you'll just hear a lot of oh. So that'll be a feature in of itself. It's going to be Chris and Mike's reactions to Steve's PC displaying Battlefield 3. It rolls off the tongue, and it's going to be a feature to stay, I'm sure. Yeah.
But now next
again with the innuendo. What's going on?
That was an innuendo. I said but. It's hardly an innuendo.
Go on.
Next year, another Call of Duty is going to come out. We all know that.
Come on. No, it isn't.
What?
Okay. Yeah.
No,
you're going to be able to buy it and play it on your Xbox 360.
I don't believe that. Where are you getting this information from?
He's going to have this brand new PC that's not going to be so brand new then.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to play the new Battlefield next year. And mark my words, there will be another Battlefield next year. Probably Bad Company 3. Even though they promised there won't be a Bad Company 3. But there will be.
Well, I mean...
No, I don't think they're going to slip into the yearly...
They have already, come on.
No, it's been like 3 years since...
2008 was Bad Company. Then 2010 was Bad Company 2. And now 2011 Battlefield 3.
I think 2 yearly is good.
That's not 2 yearly, that's 3 and 4 years. So it's ramping
Bad Company 2 last year?
They've... No.
That doesn't sound
Year
right.
before.
Yeah, it's 2 years.
Well, now they've locked themselves into this kind of rivalry with COD, haven't
Which
they?
means
they
have to.
Yeah,
So they'll lose.
I don't think they're ever going to win.
They're never going to win, you're right.
Unless the next Call of Duty really impresses me and does something new, which I don't want to sound like a cynic, but I mean I regret buying Black Ops, for instance, because I didn't really I love the Modern Warfare games, but I didn't really get on with the Treyarch standalone games.
They are
so
the COD B team.
Yeah, I got sucked into the hype and bought Black Ops, and it's not a massive regret, but I just haven't really played it that much. So I think next year it's not gonna be a day one purchase for me at all.
I've told you my Black Ops Modern Warfare feelings.
You think Black Ops is the better game?
I think Black Ops is a better game, but Modern Warfare is a better franchise and a more fun game.
Yes.
It's
and we like fun, don't we, everybody?
Well, that's the point of playing games, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if I had to choose, I would choose Modern Warfare.
Hey, you. Now, sir.
Give me the Cyber Razor Cut.
Cyber Razor Gun.
They're over 100 megabyte things. They get faster, they get harder.
What are you going to do to keep up?
Who's next?
To be this good, thanks,
IGN had this poll the other day, and I thought it'd just be interesting to give our opinions on it regarding whether voice overs should be brought into the Zelda franchise because they're still mostly text-based, apart from a few character noises here and there. And most of the IGN users said yes, we would like voice acting in Zelda. Where do you guys stand on this?
That surprises me.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a resounding no, to be honest. I'd probably lean to the no side.
Yeah, me too.
It's the way it's always been. I know that sounds a bit stuck in the mud and stuck in the past.
That's what I was going to say. Why not? Why not add it? It makes the franchise better.
What I would say is a push. If we have to have it, keep Link silent.
Definitely.
Have all the characters around him talk. Keep Link silent, as is represented in the text anyway. I mean, you say it will make the game better.
Either
Ken.
do it or don't. I mean, don't.
Why not? Gordon
half.
Freeman doesn't talk.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
No one complains about that. Sorry.
Yeah, but because most of the time when a hero is talking in a shooter, he's talking to himself, which, let's face it, is weird. You know, I know he's already weird because he's fighting aliens and it's a weird world, whatever. But talking to yourself is taking it too far. And a lot of heroes.
You've crossed the line there, game.
Well,
Sure.
a lot of heroes do that, and you've got to, if you sit back and think, who the hell is he talking to? It's like, okay, that's odd. If you're fighting, you got a gun, you probably can't hear most of what you're saying anyway, because you've gone deaf from all the bullets. So you wouldn't talk, would you? In Zelda, you're using a sword or then a shield. You're not deaf. So I don't know. That's a strange point. Let's forget that.
Taking it down an uberly realistic path there. You say it'll only ever make the game better, but I mean, we've had years of not hearing Link talk apart from that cartoon.
But how's it going to get worse?
Well, this is my point. This is what I said to you the other day. Horror movie works best when something's chasing these teenagers like a monster, but you don't see it. Therefore, your imagination runs wild, and it's often scarier than anything a director can put on the screen.
But that's a bit different.
It is a little bit different, but my point still stands because you are Link. He doesn't answer, so when someone asks you a question in your head, you go, yeah, I'll go get you the apples. I'll bring you back your dog or whatever. But all of a sudden, he goes from not talking over all these years to going, yeah, princess, it's me, Link. You say it'll make it better. Will it? Will it?
Maybe you're right on the hero. And just so you all know, I don't often admit that Chris is right. So
he never admits
Rarely.
I'm right.
So maybe on the hero you're right. You let your imagination go. But I think voiceover in general will make the franchise better.
I think because, like you say, he's the silent hero. You kind of project onto him.
Yeah.
There's never a conversation. The text in the game is always someone telling you something. This is what I have to say. This is a list of facts. There's never a conversation, so to suddenly have them speaking that,
it would be.
But if there
ridiculous.
is a conversation, he can then talk. Like if he's thinking something, then sure, have it as text. But why not have him? If someone's talking to him and saying, will you help me, do whatever.
Well, but you can always choose between yes and no. In a situation like that. But I don't want. But it annoys me in games like recently, LA Noire, when you're making all these decisions for your character to do, and then in a cutscene, he'll kind of do something, like he'll kind of react to something in a way that I'm sitting there going, well, I don't want the character that I'm portraying to do that. I didn't want him to do that. I wouldn't have made him do that.
And that applies to every RPG ever.
Kind of. But I mean, in Zelda, what you'll see is Link jump out of the way of a boulder in a cutscene, for example. But Cole Phelps would suddenly start chatting all this shit, and I'll be like, "Hey, what? No, I didn't want you to say that. Shut the fuck up. Know your role."
The first Mass Effect had the same problem. Yeah, there'll be like the line of dialogue on screen would say,
Yes,
that's a great idea. I'll select that," and then they go, "Oh yes, that's a great idea." You're like, no, I didn't want to say
That's not the way
that.
I meant it. Yeah, but also that brings me back to the Kinect thing in Mass Effect 3. So I don't know how it's going to work in Mass Effect 3, but they said you can use voice commands. I hope it's just for telling your team what to do, because if it's to select text, then it's like you're going to read something and then he's going to say something different to you. That doesn't make any sense.
It's alright, it's just for team orders.
Okay, well then that's okay. I don't have to kill anyone.
So the Ready Game Fire stance on this overall is, if you're going to do it, give voices to all the NPCs. And you know what, that's not even a problem anymore. Gone are the days where the voices in games were just terrible. I mean, everything's pretty high standard nowadays. So that would be fine. But I think
Sutherland to play Link. that'd be fucking awesome.
Well, I can't actually argue with that.
No,
that would be great. Oh, Navy, son of a bitch. It's 30 seconds of power.
30 seconds of power.
With Gears of War 3, Rage, Dark Souls and the ICO HD collection just released, you'd be forgiven for thinking it was already Christmas. Well, put away your jingle balls, dear listener, because your wallet's got a date with pain scheduled in for the next 2 months, kicking off with the deliciously dark Dog Knight and Batman Arkham City, followed by the ball-busting Battlefield 3 with the side of the unbeatable Uncharted 3, the massive Modern Warfare 3, the scoresome Skyrim, the spectacular Skyward Sword, and the ass-aching Assassin's Creed Revelations, not to mention Mario Overload on the 3DS and the Old Republic hitting just before Santa Claus Day. I don't know what you're doing, but I've just sold my shares in Ready Game Fire Inc., which just about covers one of the 79,000 DLC packs coming for these titles. Too many of to hire and Ready Game Fire!
30 seconds of power.
Thanks, Mike. That was Michael Power with 30 seconds of power. And now it's time for Kent.
Yes.
Kent Sobey. You heard the last podcast that we did.
I did.
Or rather, episode 17, not the Eurogamer podcast. And you've got some reservations about what was said.
No, they're not so much reservations as me thinking you're wrong.
So you're telling me it's time for second opinion, so be it. Is that what you're telling me?
It sounded better in my head. Second opinion.
So be it.
So be it, yeah.
So we were discussing Gears. And it was me telling people how I wasn't a fan of Gears, and Stuart and Kai were because they love Gears.
And you're all wrong.
They were defending it, but what we did all agree on was the fact that those characters are pretty one-dimensional and interesting kind of stereotypes.
And the argument that
you say no.
Yeah, the argument that I have there is that, you know, people, like we were talking about Rayman earlier, and other raving rabbits, whatever they are. You know, there's other characters in the gaming universe that are far less dimensional.
Whoa.
No, hang on.
That's not my argument. I'm not saying isn't Yoshi a better character than Marcus Phoenix.
Let's not knock Yoshi because he's great.
Well, for an example, I'm not saying, hey, Marcus is the worst gaming character of all time. I'm just saying, you know, I don't care about his quote-unquote emotional arc.
Can you name a video game character that you do care about their emotional arc?
Yes.
That wasn't a challenge.
Yeah.
I was asking for one so that
Pac-Man.
we can there are no words.
He's been running all his life.
He doesn't have legs. How can he run?
He's been running all his life from these apparitions, these spectres that have haunted him his entire life.
He has no legs. He can't run.
He's always been bullied. He's always been
rolling.
Picked on. He's never stood up for himself. And then one day, bam! He eats the metaphorical power pill, and he stands up for himself. Stands up to the bullies. Eats them. Shits them out. And finishes the level.
Nothing but eyes.
It's just Arc City, baby. Next. What else you got?
I was just looking for one character. That's all that you care about. You care about. I wasn't challenging you. I was literally asking so we can compare them.
I would rather sit down and have a conversation with one of the paddles from Pong than listen to Marcus Phoenix bleat on about his dad. Oh my god!
You're still avoiding the question.
What's the question?
Give me a character that you enjoy, that has a story, that has a character, that has an emotional arc.
I'm going to go with Heavy Rain. Captain.
I was about to say exactly that.
I don't know Heavy Rain, so you're going to have to give me one I know.
Well, that's not the rules.
Well, I've just changed them, and I asked the original question.
Let me give you an example.
Make it an Xbox.
There are no memorable characters on the Xbox.
There's got to be more than one that you enjoy.
Dude, Heavy Rain. You need to play it if you like story. It's going to blow your mind.
There was a moment in Heavy Rain when I was faced with a decision, and I put the controller down and sat for 10 minutes before I decided what I wanted to do.
Did you strike the thinker pose, as in Rodin's thinker?
I did, and then I would sit back in my chair for a while.
And then you leant forward.
And then I leant forward.
Were you in a galactic strip club?
Maybe.
Not a good place to think.
Like Shepard.
Half-Life. There's my second example.
And he's a voiceless character. Come on, there's no emotional arc there.
But all the characters
there's way more to Marcus
around
Phoenix than Gordon Freeman. Yeah, I care about the characters around him more than I do him. I don't give a shit if I die. I care if they die.
You are him. Yes, Freeman doesn't talk, but that doesn't stop him from being an unshakable symbol of hope.
He is unshakable, but he doesn't have any emotion. That's why he's unshakable, because he's emotionless.
Yeah, he does.
You see him cry?
There's
see Marcus
a
cry?
10,000 word dissertation of emotion behind every crowbar swing in that game.
It's difficult to argue with this.
Yeah, you do see Marcus cry, but I just see him cry and think, I don't give a fuck. And that's where Gears fails, character-wise.
How much Gears have you played?
Enough.
How much is that?
I've played enough.
But have you finished one, right?
No, I haven't.
Then you finished two.
I've never finished a Gears game.
Oh, then you must know him really well.
Well, why should I give a game my precious free time when I give it chances and it doesn't reel me in?
But how much chance did you give it?
Dude, I gave it enough time, and I'm sorry, you can't sit there and say that to me when I see Marcus blow something up and go, shit, yeah, I just blew something up. Dude, they are all interchangeably similar. It's not, oh, that one's the guy, that one's the bandana one, that one's the wife one, and that one's the black one.
There's a blonde one too.
She's hot. She's not hot.
Anya.
Han Young? Yeah, man. Look, okay, I agree to a certain extent, that if you're going to criticize anything, it's best to know what you're talking about. That's why I watched the first Twilight movie, so I knew my enemy.
Yeah, well,
but I don't.
That we agree. But
sir, I don't have the time to play through all Gears 3's games, and I know that I'm going to be disappointed in the end. I know what happens to them.
Not really fair to judge them, is it?
I just think
you can say I'm not interested in playing them, but you can't say there's an emotionless character there without knowing.
I am saying that. I've seen some of the emotion that they have to offer.
You've seen some of it.
I've seen some of it, and it affected me not at all. And I was open when I played it.
And I think that says a lot. The fact that you've played one game, you know there's two more.
It's like
nothing about it draws you back towards it to play it.
It's like saying
you played all the Master Chief games, right?
The Halos.
Did you care about him? Because he was an emotionless character.
I don't care about Master Chief.
Neither do I. I'm just saying that people do, and people give.
Aesthetically, I prefer the look of Master Chief to
fair
Marcus.
Enough. I agree with you on that. But
what's the frying pans? Why the frying pans?
As a character, Master Chief had way less than.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I'm not saying
Marcus,
he didn't.
But everybody gives Marcus way more crap. Why?
They don't. You just think they do because you've got a chip on your shoulder.
Actually, I'm quite well balanced. I have a chip on both shoulders.
Well, that's doubly bad. You hear a lot of people saying that Kratos is very one-dimensional, and he is.
Oh, he's just a jock, and there's nothing more to it.
Oh, and the Gears of War guys aren't jocks. Are you kidding me? Ken, I'm so sorry. I just need to be intellectually stimulated as well as having my balls tickled by a game, and I'm afraid all Gears is a ball tickler. That's all it is.
Well, at least it's got something.
Yes,
then why haven't you finished them if it tickles your balls? Why should I give you your balls tickled?
Only because I do enjoy it, but I just don't have the time, man. I've got to prioritise. I've got other games to play. As we said at the top of the podcast, this is busy season. There's so much coming out. If there was nothing coming out, I probably would play Gears 3 all the way. But round the corner, we've got Arkham City. We've got Uncharted 3. To name just a couple.
Keep going.
Do you want me to name more?
I want more. I want more. That top Gears of War 3. Those two I'll give you. That for me they don't, but I can understand why they do.
Mod Wad 3 or Mod Wad Throd.
What the hell is
Modern Warfare 3?
Okay.
Keep up with the slang, Grandad.
It's easier to just say Modern Warfare 3.
You got to abbreviate.
Only because you made me.
Should have said MW.
That's
Cod
longer.
Blops.
Mod Wad.
Maybe it's longer.
You had your Cod Blops, now you've got your Mod Wad.
Okay.
Mate, I don't know how you communicate with kids on Xbox Live.
Blops. I don't. They all swear at me.
Yeah, rightfully so. Anyway,
Grandad.
Case in point, people say that they don't give a fuck about the Modern Warfare 3. I mean, the Modern Warfare campaign. But I really enjoyed it, and I felt a hell of a lot more emotion to those characters than I do to the Gears people.
Again, I disagree with you.
You've read
I've read all the books, and
so you can't then say, oh well, of course you don't understand Dom's relationship with his wife fully because you haven't read these 3 novels. Well, so now you're telling me I've got to read
no, you don't
books now and play the games now.
And maybe that's why I care about the characters more, because I've read the books and I understand them.
What drove you to read those books? Was it because it because there's no characterization in the game, so you thought you'd get them from the books?
Funny guy. No, it was in truth because I went to the bookstore and saw Gears of War and I was a fan, so I picked it up. I also saw Halo books and Star Wars books and Star Trek books, and I thought, nah,
I would never read a Halo book.
No.
Funnily enough, the woman
or a Gears book.
The woman who wrote the Gears books, Karen Travis.
It actually
I've told
does
you this before.
blow my mind that it was written by a woman.
I was just about to bring that up. If you think of the meatheads, and she's a middle-aged English housewife.
Yeah,
she
wrote all the books, and then she wrote Gears 3.
People criticise Kratos. They say he's one-dimensional. He's angry, and they're bang on. And that's that's the problem I have with Marcus. He just runs around going, meh, meh, locusts, Dad, meh.
Gears 1 brings up the whole daddy issues thing, and his dad's involved somehow. This is interesting. I wonder where this is going to go. He gets to the end of Gears 1, nothing. You kill all the bad guys, nothing. Get to Gears 2, it brings up the daddy. Here we go. We're going to see how he gets involved.
There's 2 books between that. They explain all of it.
Yeah, but you can't expect people to go out and read these books. I didn't even know that these books existed until you told me.
But at least give me a flashback at the start of Gears 2 that says, previously in the books, here's the daddy issue
Fair
story, but there's none of that. Then
Fair enough, they should.
builds up. End of Gears 2, you kill a big thing. Nothing. There's no
Like I said,
emotional
the
payoff.
beginning of Gears, they did a terrible job of translating everything that had happened before. But that doesn't make the character terrible.
As is in the first line of the RGF blurb on the website, this is an opinion-based podcast, and in my humble opinion, I don't enjoy the Gears story. I don't believe there to be much of a story at all, apart from the loosest things to string together. Kill this big monster here, and now kill this big monster over here. I prefer Dead Space in that kind of thing. It did that better.
Dead Space fan too, but there was less story there.
In the first Dead Space story was simple, sure, but it was more focused. It was less convoluted. The Gears story is all over the place.
Though, that's for sure.
I don't believe that there was.
There was no emotion in Dead Space.
Really?
He had no comrades. There was no. Well, he had some, but you didn't.
He had a couple of comrades.
Yeah, but you didn't see them.
And his wife.
And you didn't run around. Well, he didn't really have a wife, did he? We don't want to ruin
Spoilers.
Yeah.
I was just surprised when you told me that, Gears of War had writers. Ken, it's okay.
Many mean comments. I can't say them because people will hear them.
It's just no. Please say it. I mean, that's what we're here to. So be it. I think you should say that, shouldn't you?
So be it.
Hey.
Needs a jingle.
Oh, I will.
Want to put the word prawn in there?
I will say. I can't believe they pay me to fuck these locusts. I would do it for free. What I will just throw in here quickly. If Gears of War 3 is such a great game, how come there's a bug in Horde mode that can corrupt your save file?
Uh-oh.
I haven't come across it.
Yeah, don't play Horde mode split screen.
I do it almost every day.
This was apparently.
I played it almost every day.
If you play Horde split screen, you can come across a crash which will corrupt your save file.
That's unfortunate, but you can't judge the game on
I know. But I'm being completely facetious by throwing that in. I'm probably going to throw in some tropical music here.
I've got some excellent samples of me playing the big steel drum things.
You mean steel drums?
Yeah, those things. do you want that?
Yes, in a moment. So, as you can hear by Ken playing the steel drum things in the background, we are now, stranded on our own individual desert islands.
Time we got you.
How did we get here? Some sort of plane crash? We're going the lost route, aren't we?
Yeah, there's a
smoke
fat
monster.
guy and a smoke monster.
But luckily, we all had our...
That's all I can remember. 6 years of Lost and that's all I've got.
There's a Jack, there's a John.
Yeah.
There's a Hurley.
There was a polar bear.
I'm a big Lost fan too, by the way.
I think the polar bear was the pilot.
And there was a...
That's why they crashed.
Yeah, there we go.
There was a hatch.
Yeah, but that was... Yeah.
I have to say, I'd watch Marcus Phoenix chainsaw a gazillion people over... listening to anything Matthew Fox has to say, besmirching of the great name.
Because of his surname, yeah.
Just fucking hate him, douche.
Really?
Yeah.
But he did the Nivea adverts.
Yeah, well, he's a... Anyway, we're on desert islands. We're our own individual desert islands, but it's okay because we've got our coconut Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony systems.
And any other system that you might want to...
Yeah, whatever you want. So basically, this is desert...
An iPod if you want.
Desert Island Games.
I've got a Game Boy that's made out of a holodeck crab.
Awesome.
I'd love to see that.
How are you going to charge it?
It's probably been modded.
We do have electricity, right?
So on these islands, we have electricity enough to power our coconut consoles, but
and TVs.
Can we contact? Yeah, no. But can we contact the outside world? No, there's no internet, there's no phones, there's no way to get word. I.e., I just blew your head off in COD. Please come and rescue me. I'm on an island. There's none of that. So, what 5 games would you take to this island with you?
My first game on my holodeck crab Game Boy is Super Mario Land 2: 6 Golden Coins.
Interesting.
For the sole reason that, as a child, every time I went on holiday, I would delete my save, start the game all over again.
But you can have 3 saves.
Where did you
No, I
go
always
on
wiped
holiday?
it. I don't know why.
That's crazy.
Where did you go on holiday? It must have been really shit.
It's a long car journey.
Don't slag off the Evans family.
I'm not slagging off the game. I'm just saying. I mean,
No,
I said the family.
in the car on the way, I'd play the first half of it.
okay.
I'd enjoy my holiday
Fair enough.
on the way home, and I'd always finish it.
Okay, in
before,
the car. Fair enough. I
before the
thought
journey
maybe
home.
everyone was on the beach enjoying the sun, and you were, nerding it up.
I was a lonely child, but
I used to play my Game Boy on the sand on the beach.
Nerding it up.
dangerous.
Sand got in and the cover of my screen came off. Anyway,
Yeah, I can imagine.
6 golden coins. It's a strong, strong Mario title.
It is very strong, and I never got tired of playing the same thing over and over again, once, twice a year.
Okay, it's a completely out of left field
It
Mario
is.
title to throw into the mix, but I like it very much. Now, are you sure you want to use this as one of your games? A game that's going to potentially fight off madness. It's going to stop you from going crazy. Can 6 golden coins do that? Is there enough there?
I think there is.
Okay, Kent, what about you?
I'm going to start with a game that I haven't actually finished because it's big. Oblivion. I think there's a lot there, and you could play it for many hours, and you could probably do it as a different character several times. And it's by no means one of my favorite games, but I think it's high enough on the list to give me many hours of enjoyment.
Okay, cool.
Or Skyrim, if we can pick games that
I was
haven't
gonna
come
say-
out yet. Yeah.
For exactly the same reason, I think the only time I will have enough time to finish either of those games would be on a desert island.
Let's pretend that the plane crash happens today or tomorrow, so there is no
Skyrim.
There's no Skyrim.
Okay, well, I guess it's Oblivion then. Even though the graphics are
Likewise.
shit, I mean, in 10 years' time, it's not going to matter because, well, let's
You won't
face it,
know.
I'm already old. I'm
You
not
won't
going to be
have
able to
s-
see by then.
Yeah, you won't have seen another human face, for a while, and potentially ever again. So I think the Oblivion graphics are going to be like some sort of vision of heaven.
So Oblivion, that's my fifth. What's yours?
It's also very similar to my first choice because my first choice is Fallout 3, a game that I started to play and I couldn't get into it, and I thought I don't have the time to sink into this kind of game. But like your logic, I'm on an island with plenty of time. I'm ready to be Liam Neeson's child again. I'm going to play some Fallout 3.
Liam Neeson in Fallout.
Yeah. He's the dad at the start.
Now I want to play it.
Yeah, don't. It's average. But anyway, I'll be taking it to this island because it's got many an
Tons
hour.
of time, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll fire that up into my Coconut 360 because the PS3 version's got ridiculous progression blocker in it. Oh my god. Anyway, I've spoken about that before. So that's my first game, Fallout. Chris?
I'm going for another left field option. I'm going to go for Drop 7 on the iPhone.
I haven't played Drop 7.
I played Drop 7.
You know, you're going to have to charge that thing every day.
You've got electricity.
I know there's electricity, but it's still a pain in the ass.
It's fine. I've got nowhere to go. I can just leave it plugged in.
Fair enough.
I literally play that game every day of my life.
I
On
don't
the bus
know
on
what
the way
it is.
to work.
What is it?
Difficult to explain.
You're gonna have to.
Okay. It's a grid filled with balls which have numbers on them. You get new numbers at the top and you pick which column you drop them into.
Yeah.
If one of the numbers matches the number of balls in that row or column, that number disappears.
This
So
sounds like bingo to me.
it's a kind of
Or lotto.
bingo, Tetris sort of hybrid.
Jesus Christ. Magic words. Bingo plus Tetris.
Equals fun.
Oh.
But I literally play it every day of my life.
Is it one of those crazily addictive iPhone games?
It really is.
What's your second game, Kent?
My second game, for similar reasons to my first game, in fact, is Mass Effect 2. Can do it several times. You can do it as a lady or a man.
And it's the closest you'll get to sex on that island, unless you
Exactly,
shag a crab.
Unless I do one of you guys, because you're obviously there too, and I'm not so keen on that.
No, we're on separate
You got-
islands.
Yeah. Oh, thank goodness.
Why would we be on the same ones?
Because your beard's going to get really long if you don't shave.
Yeah, and you could just, I suppose you could dangle your fish. I mean, your fish. You could dangle your thing to bait fish if you wanted some
Well,
action.
I could. I just need to stand near the water and it'll touch it.
Exactly. So Mass Effect 2. Yeah.
Good game. It's got everything you need.
I
Really.
also think
It's
in
got
terms of
sex, it's got violence, it's got explosions. What more does a man on an island need?
I think it's also incredible for the levels of escapism that you can reach in a game because you're
Absolutely.
on an island alone and you play a game where you're in space surrounded by lots of different creatures and cultures and sexy alien ladies.
And what's her name? Miranda, whatever. with her white or black outfit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're on an island, you need that sort of thing.
Sure. Sure.
So that's my second game.
My second game is actually going to be a complete opposite to the first game. Streets of Rage 2, because it's one of my favourite games of all time.
But it takes you, what, an hour or two to finish?
Yeah, but that's not the point.
Fair enough.
Back then it wasn't. There was no story, so you probably like them. But it's it's a game. It's one of my favourite games of all time. I still find the combat system to be really chunky and satisfying.
Hit A.
The music, A is special attack, and well done. You can actually condense all gaming into that sort of.
There's triggers in new games.
Yeah. All right. Hit R. Anyway, dickhead. One of my favourite games. I love the environments. I love the music. They're like home to me when I close my eyes and I need to be taken away to a happy place. Unfortunately, 2-player is not available because I'm all alone on an island. But it's one of my comfort games. You know, like a favourite album. The games from my youth, I look at them like favourite albums. Say I'll throw on Sonic 2 is a similar way that I'll throw on Songs for the Deaf by Queens of the Stone Age. It's a very similar thing for me. So yeah, I mean, I could not pick 5 Desert Island games without taking one of those games. So I'm going to pick Streets of Rage 2. It's a very, very good game. What you got for us now,
Number
Chris?
3.
I will choose Forza Motorsport. When is this podcast going up? Is it before Friday?
All right, we crash on Friday, so you can have it.
Okay, I'll have 4. In that case, then I will go for Forza Motorsport 4.
But you haven't played it.
But I know it's going to be more of the same of 3.
Okay.
Have you got a Coconut Connect system?
I do not have Coconut Connect.
And how are you going to turn your head in the game?
Yeah, how are you going to turn your
I can
head
live
in?
without it.
What? But everything's better.
It'd be
with
nice.
Everything's better with a Coconut
What I
Connect
will
sensor.
do-
Okay, yeah. So,
But yes,
you love your
Forza.
racers, don't
Love
you?
racing games. It's huge. There's lots of things to do. Kind of.
Yeah, you're going to spend a while. You're going to spend a while unlocking all those cars, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Like the
Actually, no,
DeLorean.
because there's not as much of an unlocking thing as there is in GT5.
Oh, right.
You just kind of get most of the cars,
Oh, okay, cool.
which is even better.
I'm down for that, yeah. I don't like unlocking shit.
Have you got a lot of varied tracks in there? A lot of varied environments?
Yes, there's quite a lot of tracks.
Because you're
in
going to
there.
want to, like I said, with the whole Mass Effect 2 escapism, you're going to want to factor that in because you're going to need these games to take you away to
You
different
can.
places.
I could travel the world
For
in
it.
my supercar.
What's your next one, Ken?
StarCraft.
Okay.
StarCraft has endless hours of enjoyment.
In single player?
Yeah, even single player because you've got the whole skirmish mode.
Mm.
Definitely, that one is actually in the top 5 games ever for me. I haven't played 2, but I'm quite certain if I had, that would be the one because Blizzard never lets us down. They've never released a bad game.
Okay, cool. A lot similar to Chris's Drop 7, is it called?
It is.
I'm taking the original Tetris on the Game Boy because I would finally have...
Risky.
Well, I'm taking a varied selection basically. But anyway, it finally give me time to get as good at Tetris as I know that I am in my heart. And finally I can devote all of my time and attention to becoming the Tetris player that I always knew I could
you're
be.
good at everything in your heart.
Yes, always, everything. I'm always, yeah. What's your point?
At what point does it go beyond your heart?
Self-belief. I'll unleash the true power of me in Tetris on that island.
Tetris is not a bad call.
That's a very good call.
The original Tetris is just... I mean, when's that getting released on the 3DS e-store? Soon, I hope. Chris, have you got anything else for us?
Number 4.
See, I was thinking Rock Band. I'm a big music game fan, but that's only really fun with multiple people.
Yeah.
Same with most music games. So I'm going to go for Electroplankton on the DS.
I've never played Electroplankton.
It's essentially a toy. There are 5 or 6 different musical toys that you can play with, and I think that is one of the few music games that you can enjoy on your own. Make some nice ambient noises. Once I fashion my ukulele out of a coconut, you can record things into it.
Should we play it? I want to play it.
Yeah, it's really good fun.
Nice, man. Nice.
Especially if you're into music making in any way.
Yeah.
It's all very ambient and pretty and...
I would say yes, but I'm a drummer, so it's not music as such.
You could bash the scream of the stylus and see what happens.
Oh, good at that. I'm sold. You've signed me up. So please, frontman who doesn't even play a musical instrument, what's your number 4?
I've been playing guitar for over 15 years.
Have you? Have you?
And piano.
Oh, come on, mate. What's your next game, Kent?
Heroes of Might and Magic 3.
Another game I know of it, but I've never played it.
Turn-based strategy.
Yeah.
Fantastic game.
Even against the CPU?
Yeah.
Is it a multiplayer game?
Used to play it with a friend because it's turn-based. You know, you have your turn and they have their turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, against the CPU, you put it on hard, you're never going to win. You put it on easy, you're always going to win. So it's not balanced very well, but it's still fun.
How old is this game?
Probably 15 years.
Wow.
A mate and I, we used to play literally, and I'm not kidding, days at a time for one game,
Nice.
playing against each other.
Amazing.
Before we drank alcohol, so there was lots of Red Bull and stuff involved.
Yeah, alcohol.
Coffee.
It does tend to ruin everything, doesn't it?
when we got to alcohol, it was only a few hours at a time, and then
Yeah.
it all got silly.
Yeah. Indeed. Nice. I'm liking it. A very diverse mix of games thus far. It's good stuff. Are you ready for my next one? Well, so you're gonna need as much of an endless possibility in the games that you choose. So that being said, I'm going to take Little Big Planet because I can create my own levels in that. So in theory, the game's only as limited as my imagination. Now, you know, I can create anything from a vast mountainscape level to
Underwater.
another mountain.
Smaller mountains.
Smaller mountain next to the other mountain.
Snowy mountains.
But yeah, Little Big Planet. I mean, fantastic game. I suppose for argument's sake, let's take Little Big Planet 2 because you can do more in it. Again, I mean, a fantastic game. A game that kind of wraps its arms around you and gives you a big hug. I love Dead Space, as we've said, but I'm not going to take that because I need to feel happy on this island. Little Big Planet makes me feel very, very happy. The music's great, the presentation's great, the characters are very, very cute, and the whole level creator then gives me so much more depth to while away the hours until the smoke monster
Fine choice.
eats me or rescues me.
It's a good
I don't know,
choice.
what did the smoke monster do?
I don't want to ruin it.
Okay. Didn't the smoke monster himself ruin it? It sounds like he may have done.
He had a big part in ruining it. But, I won't talk about it.
Okay, cool. So that's Little Big Planet brackets 2 for me. What number are we up to? Is this the final one?
This is your
I think
final decision.
Have I not done 5? I will go 4.
That's get a bit touchy.
Which one? Hitman, Silent Assassin.
Is this the best of the bunch?
It's my personal favourite.
Is it
Blood Money?
the critical? Yeah. I hit Blood Money.
Yeah, Blood Money. Yeah, I'll change mine actually. Blood Money.
The beginning scene.
Yeah, actually. Okay, scratch that. I will take Hitman Blood Money.
Don't you want to just take the film on DVD?
No.
Are you sure? It'll have extras.
With Timothy Olyphant.
Plain review. Timothy Elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I refuse to watch that.
That was cool.
Really?
For a
No, it wasn't.
B-grade
It wasn't
movie,
cool,
it was cool. I mean, don't expect, Matrix 3. It's not that good.
Oh my god. Sell me Hitman Blood Money.
The only reason
Make me think that I want to take it to my island.
It's an incredible game. I love the Hitman games. But I have never, for various reasons, put the time in and perfected that game. And as much as it's one of my favourite games of all time, I've only ever got Silent Assassin, which is the highest rating on 1 or 2 of the levels.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be the time and place to go for it.
Okay.
And perfect that game, because I know I've got it in me. I've
Okay.
never actually managed it.
Nice.
And it is brilliant. There's so many different ways of murdering people.
It is
horribly.
great. It is great.
I love
Good
murdering
franchise.
people.
Looking forward
How
to the
many
new
other
one.
games can you dress up in a bird suit at Mardi Gras and drop a piano on someone?
Kent Sobey.
Now, my last one's difficult
Hmm.
because there's a lot. You're about to crash. You're scrambling through your collection. I know there's only space for 5 on the parachute.
I always take my entire game collection on planes with me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
Exactly.
Well, I think I've settled on Dead Space 2.
Really?
Yeah,
Dead Space 2. That seems.
I haven't finished it yet.
Kind of seems like
And
a
that's one of the
spur of the
reasons.
moment decision, though.
But it is, and it's one of the reasons because I haven't finished it. You
Okay.
also want to take one game you haven't played before.
Yeah,
You don't want everything to be old.
that's true.
And this one I've played a bit, enough to know that I like it, and I still know there's another disc left because it came on 2 discs.
Yeah.
There's at least another disc left.
Yeah.
So there's still a bit left, and I think that's an important thing to take with. At least, even though it may only take me 1 day to finish, at least there's going to be something that I've never played.
Let's go for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to represent the old school a little bit more, and take that there because it was the biggest Sonic Mega Drive title, and I know that game inside out. So it's kind of like sometimes it's a place that I go to
You're not
not
going to
just
take one game that you've never played. I mean, he's taking Forza.
I'm taking
He's
Fallout.
never played it. Okay, there we go. Fair enough.
But
I
yeah,
forgot
I
about
mean,
him.
yeah. So I can escape into Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but it's also familiar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to take that.
Okay.
It's like pie and mash for me in game form.
Interesting fact, a friend of mine has a collection of old Sega Power magazines, and he has the one where Sonic 3 and Knuckles was reviewed. RRP, $59.99.
Dude, my parents... my parents got me Sonic and Knuckles. They didn't buy me Sonic 3. They said I didn't behave myself enough on a holiday, but they also said it's £60. The most expensive... The most expensive Mega Drive game that I recall was Virtua Racer, and it was £70.
£70?
People complain about game prices these days, but £70, at the risk of sounding really old, £70 back then.
I know.
That's crazy.
It's a hell of a lot of money.
Buy a house for that.
That was more money than I'd ever seen.
Back when you were young, yeah.
Work less, play more.
That's it for this episode of the Ready Game Fire podcast. Remember, you can contact us through email address.
Through email address.
So tired.
I've got a personal email address if there's something special you'd like.
You can contact us through contact@readygamefire.co.uk. On Twitter, find us at ReadyGameFire. Facebook, search for the Ready Game Fire Facebook page and click on the like button to receive regular RGF updates. And I think that's everything from us, isn't it? So I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Chris and Kent there. Expertly done.
Goodbye from Chris and Kent there.
And thanks very much for listening to episode 18 of Ready Game Fire. Stay hungry, stay foolish.